Today on College Football Live, another day, another. Did you hear what Johnny Manziel did?
What?
Jesse
More?
No,
good Lord Almighty.
On the field. Plus, the
I swore we wouldn't report on that
winner
anymore.
play for a national title in the coming years. Their coaches are here in studio to discuss it all and preview this season. And what attention-grabbing head coach jumped from a cliff this weekend. But we're going to begin with the NFL prospect, Heisman hopeful quarterback.
Teddy Bridgewater appears to be developing into one of the marquee quarterbacks in the nation.
Competitor, all the things that make you win, that's what he does.
Bridgewater throwing to the end zone. Touchdown, Parker! Bridgewater wants to make the play and he does. Bridgewater to the end zone. Touchdown!
I wouldn't be in this situation right now without my teammates. The Heisman campaign may start, but right now I'm just enjoying this moment.
As we say hello and welcome to College Football Live, Joe Tessitore and Jesse Palmer, thrilled to have Teddy Bridgewater with us in studio today. Welcome to College Football Live, Teddy.
Well, thanks, man.
A fantastic shoot, by the way, might I add as well.
Yeah, it's styling here, right next to Jesse Palmer. Perhaps no team has more momentum coming into the year than your team, Louisville. Big expectations when you're coming off that Sugar Bowl against Florida. What is the feeling heading into the fall?
We just feel that, we can't take any steps backwards. We have to continue to move on from the Sugar Bowl. And we also have to realize that the Sugar Bowl was last year. This year, September 1st, is a whole new year.
Teddy, after that Sugar Bowl win, it created and generated a lot of expectations, I think, for your football team heading into this season. Of course, you're playing in the former Big East. You have that big win, a lot of leadership, a lot of talent coming back, 9 starters on defense. When you take a look at the schedule, it's very, very manageable. The only team, non-conference, that's an AQ opponent is going to be Kentucky early in the year on the road. But you got huge home games in the conference, Rutgers and UCF, and of course a big one late in the season at Cincinnati. As a leader, how do you help manage this team's expectations week in, week out, go one game at a time?
Well, we brought these expectations onto ourselves. And we also have to go into each game realizing that no opponent is just going to lay down for us.
No doubt. I mean, all those teams, I have to point out for Louisville,
as a leader, you just have to tell guys to back.
there's no real cream puffs on there. Not even Eastern Kentucky, you can say. All of those teams, Memphis, gone bowling a lot. I just have to say in Louisville's behalf, it doesn't look stunning, but it doesn't look weak either.
Remain grounded at all times.
Teddy, you get sick hearing about the schedule, the wrap of the schedule this year. I mean, I don't know, a lot of folks know out there. There was talk of potentially opening week. He could have lined up Texas A&M. That didn't happen on their end. But is it unfair when they keep talking about the schedule as if these teams you're playing against aren't going to line up and try to beat you?
Yeah, pretty much it's very unfair because, like I said, no opponent is just going to come out there and lay down. Once we score, we have to kick the ball off to them. So we just feel that we can't control what happens on the schedule, but we can control what we do with our schedule.
Let's talk about the offense.
I'm just in a different spotlight, and I'm not gonna shy away from that. The speculations of me being too hungover or whatever it was are absolutely incorrect. I hope people still see that I'm still a 20-year-old kid in college. I'm a 20-year-old college kid. I'm a 20-year-old kid in college.
Johnny, if you don't duplicate your season, people are going to think, he's messing around too much in the offseason.
Absolutely. I'm fine with that. At the end of the day, I'm not going for a Miss America pageant. I'm playing football. I'm just trying to enjoy my life. Hopefully, that doesn't upset too many people.
It's like your shoulders got smaller from not working out.
After Johnny Manziel received criticism for leaving the Manning camp early, now report that he was kicked out of University of Texas frat party this weekend. Well-circulated video showing Manziel leaving the party as he's being heckled and has a beer can flung at him. Next day, spotted at another frat party in Austin wearing a Tim Tebow Jets jersey. It is just smothered in irony as many pundits discuss Manziel being the anti-Tebow, and we had heard that fellow Heisman winner Tim Tebow reached out to Manziel at the height of the Manning camp controversy. Manziel not so bashful about taking to Twitter and giving some heat back to Texas fans and others, bashing him this weekend, saying, last time I checked, double-digit win columns and championships are what matters. Just win, baby. Here we go again, Jesse Palmer. Another day, another Johnny Manziel episode. Is this one newsworthy?
When I first saw this,
How about Jesse? What happened with the shades there, dude? That's newsworthy.
To do with football, and Johnny Manziel didn't break any rules and he didn't break any laws. Then I reminded myself.
How did he play quarterback so well without those?
The biggest celebrity in the history of college football. In today's social media world, with the information age we're in, having won a Heisman Trophy as a freshman, growing up and playing football in the state of Texas, attending...
I don't know, what do y'all think out there? I mean, Jesse looks like a better-looking Clark Kent right now.
We have never seen a college football so famous so early on in his career as Johnny Manziel. Yes, he is 20 years old. Yes, he has made mistakes. These incidents from this past weekend look bad right now due to timing, because it was only 2 weeks ago at the SEC Media Days, Johnny Manziel was apologizing for and explaining some of his off-field and off-season activity. Joe, I think in today's information age, it is impossible almost for a guy like Johnny Manziel, as famous as he is, just to stay out of the headlines.
Speaking for Pi Kappa Alpha, like we do on some of the Live from the Set shows.
Because he is who he is. But to me,
at a frat, not really. You ain't going to get respect immediately, per se.
If Johnny Manziel is committed 100% to football, then he shouldn't have a factor on the field.
And if you come in there acting like you will, many fraternity, dudes in fraternity got their own thing going on, man.
He's a role model to a lot of young kids out there. I think head coach Kevin...
They're well known for other reasons.
He is walking a fine line when it comes to trying to control Johnny Manziel, because you can't lock him up in his dorm. Kevin Sumlin wants Johnny Manziel to enjoy this incredible experience that, let's be honest, Johnny Manziel deserves because he's worked so hard for it. I equate the relationship between Kevin Sumlin and Johnny Manziel to Greek mythology. King Agamemnon and Achilles in the Battle of Troy. Agamemnon could not control...
That is hilarious.
He could just hope to unleash him on the battlefield on game day. And I think it's very, very similar what's happening right now in College Station. As long as Johnny Manziel is committed 100% to football, then this should not affect his performance on the field. Do you like that?
An unparalleled analogy, never seen before, right here on this college football.
Smarter.
You really... That Florida education coming through.
You're not just getting football now, you're getting history.
Wow. Gainesville, bringing it.
All right. So you just saw some of the vignettes from the start of the final week, if you could call it a week, few days left, end of July. Welcome to the talk radio version of the OMSR. I am your host, Will, the alternative ESPN Sports Thrill. So video highlights courtesy to ESPN. All the other original content, overall concept, copyright to the OMSR. And we always do a little talk radio bit at the end where you can get involved, Twitter, pitter, patter, what does it matter? But just keep, the comments respectful to your fellow tubers and to the show. So we're opening up 4.0 here. It's the little first part of it. Going to open up the ratings again, but to all you future, would-be repeat viewers or subs, and be wary of thumbs downs. That's competition, a lot of it going on. That's why I shut it down in a lot of shows in the past. Alright, so we do always do a show. We do always try to keep the talk short and sweet. There is a way involved with this project. A bunch of former college football or basketball players. And that's what we happen to specialize in. But I do try to get the other things going on. There's a lot of stuff on the channel up to this point. But y'all got to understand, when you see like a 10-minute clip from the OMSR, it ain't 10 minutes worth of sports highlights. That good ship sports clip lollipop on YouTube has sailed. And it always was that way, via the DMCA. That's the only reason we're able to show you as much as we do. That's why they say, what are you bitching about? You're getting way more than 30-second bit sports clips. The DMCA, Digital Millennium Copyright, it covers a fair use standard, minimal use, and derivatives. So if and when you're going to borrow others' content, there has to be an amalgamation with your own. So that's why we do this. But the talk radio version, beauty of it is, never going to go more than 3 minutes. All right, you know where you are based on the title. So here we go. Part 1, we're talking, Johnny Manziel at it again. I swore, in the last Johnny Manziel show we weren't going to be doing this. Dude looks like he's shrinking too. He doesn't look like he's lifted weights in a month. Part 2, you got to come back to part 2 if you're on 1 or 3. The title should say it. Jesse Palmer going off in Greek mythology. It is classic. And then in part 3, it doesn't stand up as well, but ACC Media Day, or days, I think it was only one day, with the coaches. And the storylines there. Alright. Thanks for watching. A couple catchphrases from the OMSR. We're not the only rodeo in town, but the one, straight up. Only rodeo in town looking out for your well-being. Sports and alcohol, they are joined at the hip. So leave the keys in the cabin. No silly DUIs while you're out there, alright? So later days, more signature plays.